dynamic. Just as their chemistry began to build, an unexpected event occurred. Xiaoqi was about to compete in a swimming meet that was vital to his career, and he set aside a ticket just for Yangxi. However, on the day of the race, a typhoon hit the city, trapping Yangxi. On her way there, her car began to flood, and the doors wouldn't budge. At the arena, Xiaoqi was thrown into a panic upon hearing the news. The starting whistle had already blown. As all the other athletes dived into the water before the stunned crowd, he resolutely abandoned the race and rushed out into the storm. He searched for her frantically in the torrential rain, heedless of his own safety. With only one thought in his mind, he had to find her. When he finally reached Yangxi, he realized with absolute certainty that she was the most important person in his life, more so than any racing or any of his dreams. Just as he was pouring his heart out, a billboard above began to teeter in the gale. Seeing her about to crash into the pool, Xiaoqi rushed forward without a second thought, using his own body to shield her from the fatal impact. In the hospital, Zhao Shao survived, but he was left with severe injuries. Yangxi was deeply moved by his love, a love where he had literally put his life on the line. By his hospital bed, she leaned in and kissed him. That kiss spanned years of twists, turns, and constant partings. Finally sealing their relationship, they were finally together. That period was the happiest time in Zhao Xiaoqi's 26 years of life. Together, they moved into a little love nest of their own. They braved crowded subways and buses, capturing every sweet moment with their camera. Standing outside bridal shop windows, they fantasized about a beautiful wedding in their future. Yangxi even secretly bought a pair of couples rings to commemorate this long-awaited happiness. But Zhao Xiaoqi didn't notice that. Hidden inside the lid of the ring box was a heart-shaped note he had handwritten. This note would later serve as a painful reminder of his deepest regrets. However, the reality of life is far more cruel than any fairy tale. The doctor told Zhao Xiaoqi that because of that severe injury, his tendon was ruptured. He could no longer endure high-intensity training. This meant his career as a professional athlete was completely over. With his dreams shattered, Xiaoxiao could only work as a swimming coach at a gym. He spent his days swallowing his pride to hand out flyers, enduring the sneers of passers-by. Meanwhile, Yangxi, relying on her talent and hard work, began to make a name for herself in design, and her career flourished. She even secured a precious opportunity to further her studies in Milan. The gap between them became visibly wider day by day. Zhou Xiaoqi's meager salary couldn't even cover the rent and tea. When Yangxi took the initiative to help shoulder the financial burden, this deeply stung his fragile ego, and he flew into a rage, venting his frustrations on everyone and everything. Ultimately, he couldn't accept the widening chasm between himself and Yangxi. His machismo and his insecurity were like a poison barb. It didn't just torment him, but also began to wound the person he loved most. At a gathering, seeing his friends succeeding in their careers one by one, while being teased for his own lack of money, Zhao Xiaoqi's deep-seated insecurity finally reached a breaking point. Abandoning his usual humor, he began to lash out at his friends with sarcasm, taking out his life's frustrations on those around him. Yangxi sensed something was wrong, and on the rooftop back home, he took the initiative to apologize to her, feeling she had pressured him too much and wanting to put his mind at ease. She even suggested that they get married. She thought marriage was the ultimate harbor for love, a commitment that would provide mutual security. However, those words became the final straw that broke Zhao Xiaoqi.
How can I get married when I'm like this? I can't even give you a decent wedding. Don't joke around.
It wasn't marriage he was rejecting, nor was it Yangxi, but his own self, the version of him that felt like a failure, undeserving of happiness. This decision, seemingly made out of consideration for her, was actually the ultimate form of selfishness born from insecurity. The true, final straw that would overwhelm their relationship arrived quietly during a moment of profound grief. Yangxi's father passed away in the period following the funeral. Zhou Xiaoqi's internal distress had no outlet. He finally confessed his long-suppressed feelings to his friend Zhang Feng, unaware that Yangxi was standing right behind him.
I'm just afraid that if things get tough in the future, regretting his own choices, regretting ever meeting Yangxi.
Is that so? The word regret was like a sharp knife, instantly piercing through Yangxi's heart. Growing up in a broken home, she was extremely insecure. It was Zhao Xiaoqi's presence that gave her the courage to believe in love. He stayed by her side during her recovery, and rented a home with his earnings, supporting her through her darkest hours without ever wavering. Yet at her most grieving moment after losing a loved one, what she heard was his regret of meeting her. She saw the shadow of her own father in Zhao Xiaoqi, that man who blamed his lifelong failures on his wife and daughter. This single sentence completely shattered her final shred of faith in this relationship.
I've been insecure since I was a child. When we met again, you were the one who told me that you would never make me sad again. And I believed you.
Some words once spoken can never be taken back. A few days later, Yangqi asked him to meet, calmly telling him she had decided to go to Milan the following week. Xiaoqi was still happy for her promising to stay faithful and wait until her return, but when he suddenly noticed that the ring on Yangqi's finger was gone, his heart instantly froze. He desperately begged for forgiveness, unaware that the damage was already done. Yangqi walked away with a firm pace, not out of cold-heartedness but because she deeply realized that there was no longer a future for her and Xiaoqi. That one word, regret, had become an insurmountable chasm between them. After Yangqi left, she left a letter behind, in which she also mentioned her own regrets, regretting that she couldn't stay by his side in high school, regretting not seeing the best in him during college, regretting wasting all that time that could have belonged to them. Xiaoqi, the only thing I don't regret is being with you. Zhao Xiaoqi lost Yangqi for good, and his life seemed to return to square one overnight. Many people think that Yangqi was overreacting, but girls who truly feel insecure will deeply empathize. The word regret was the straw that broke the camel's back. It negated all of his sacrifices and devotion. Zhao Xiaoqi's choice seemed to be for her own good, but in reality he was just making excuses for his own cowardice. He blamed his life's failures on his reckless choice to pursue love, and that single expression of regret became the trigger for their breakup. Years later, Xiaoqi finally moved on and earned his teaching credentials, becoming a beloved swimming instructor. As he led his students through various competitions, he found a long-lost sense of stability and pride, until one day he received Yangqi's wedding invitation, a message that stirred up ripples in his calm life once more. He stubbornly told his friends he wouldn't attend his ex's wedding for the life of him. To help him take his mind off things, his friends took him to a small island surrounded by the sea. He sat alone by the shore all night, unable to find peace in his heart. He took out the ring box that swimming pool had given him, recalling all the old promises that had long since faded. Just as he was about to put the ring away, he stumbled upon a small note hidden at the bottom of the lid. Yangqi had secretly hidden it there years ago. He had never noticed it before. Inside was her familiar handwriting. This note, arriving years late, was like a key that instantly opened the floodgates of all his remorse. Love is just like that when it arrives. Silent and still, when he left, he acted as if it didn't matter. But inside, he was heartbroken. Suddenly, fired up, he roused his friends, determined to attend the wedding despite being stranded with no boat. Remembering his roots as a swimmer, he dove into the freezing water without hesitation, swimming desperately toward the wedding venue just to see her one last time. Every agonizing stroke would be worth it. After an arduous journey, they finally reached the hotel before the ceremony began. His friends helped him distract the crowd, allowing him to stand unopposed behind swimming pool in her wedding dress. She was as beautiful as ever, more mature, yet even more gentle. This was a scene Zhao Xiaoqi had long imagined, except he wasn't the groom. He didn't try to crash the wedding, nor did he act out. He simply sat down in peace, like an old friend reunited after many years. He finally offered his long overdue apology, finally understanding that some missed chances last a lifetime.
I will never forgive myself for the moments I said I regretted us. How could I ever regret it? Oh, the happiness of my youth was given to me by you.
This conversation was the final closure to their 15-year journey and their most graceful goodbye. Instead of crashing the wedding, he chose to give his blessing. As Yangqi walked down the aisle in her wedding gown, Zhao Xiaoqi's heart was flooded with complex emotions. Watching her, he recalled every moment they had shared. In that moment, he perhaps realized that love doesn't always need a perfect ending. Having loved truly and given your all is enough. We meet many people in a lifetime, but there is only one first love. Thank you for these 15 years. In 2021, his 15-year love story with Yu Yongxi has finally come to a close. The story of my love has ended, but the ripples it stirred in the hearts of the audience have yet to subside for a long time, because it poignantly touches upon an eternal theme of youth regret. Youth is a reckless, headlong rush, and regret is a necessary stepping stone toward growth. The 15-year journey together wasn't a failure. It fulfilled its ultimate purpose, allowing two immature souls to leave an indelible mark on each other's lives before evolving into better, more complete versions of themselves. It teaches us that having loved with all our hearts, even if we part ways, is far more precious than never having met at all. Like the tide embracing the shore, though destined to recede, it leaves behind traces that nourish life. The act of having loved is in itself the greatest badge of honor of our youth.